Hello, everyone. It's CEO Tyrone Glover back at you doing the pushback. Pardon the adjustment of the light here. Once we get this all situated in the manner in which it gives me the opportunity to do my best work. Sorry, my apologies. Just getting everything situated. We're still kind of working through some of these challenges. And one of those challenges is finding proper lighting. So it's always a plus when we can get the lighting and everything situated in the manner in which we should. But nevertheless, we are always here doing what we need to do. And at some point, I'm sure this lighting is going to work for me. I'm going to have to get a lighting guy here at some point to be able to really fine tune it and make me look all professional and keep everything going in the manner in which it should. But my apologies if you can't see me. Hopefully you can see me. And as I stated, we're going to work on this lighting situation and get it ideal and professional. So don't worry about the pushback is back at you. And we're doing all of the things that we should be doing, which is helping you get a better understanding of what should be working and what is not working in your credit profile, working as far as your rent is concerned, working as far as those things that we think should be going accordingly, but unfortunately it's not going accordingly. So as I stated, the pushback is here for you. If you missed our yesterday episode, it was our introduction, bringing a new form of what I like to call pushback. We're bringing a new form of what we, the people, should be doing when it comes to our elected officials, when it comes to our institutions, when it comes to our schools, when it comes to our businesses, when it comes to our, you name it. Whatever you want to push back on, this is a perfect platform to make that happen. It's called the pushback for a reason, because we as citizens need to be pushing back on these elected officials that are failing us. And what I mean by failing us, they're not doing their jobs. They're not doing what we, the people, have elected them to do. They're not doing what we, the people, have put them in office to do. They're not doing what we, the people, according to our Constitution, have put them in the positions. They're just not doing it. Our businesses are failing us, meaning all of the businesses that we currently are dealing with, they're robbing us. I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to push back on all of these topics, all of these subjects that are not working for us. Businesses are failing us. They're literally robbing us blind. Everything goes up, but we stay the same. Everything goes up. I'm sure you've probably noticed, just like I've noticed, groceries have gone through the roof, but yet everything within our level has pretty much stayed the same. I'm going to talk about rent. I'm going to talk about wages. I'm going to talk about healthcare. I'm going to talk about schools. I'm going to talk about education. I'm going to talk about government. I'm going to talk about politics, infrastructure, laws, courts, policing, student loans, banking, money, climate control. Greta, I still appreciate you like nobody's business, because you went out there and you did something that I would require all students to go out there and do. Push back on your countries to do more about climate control. Guns, labor, Social Security. I'm going to push back on everything that we, the people, know should be going on accordingly, but unfortunately isn't. So it's our duty to do our duty. I am a veteran. I am someone who served in the United States military. I love my country over most things. I appreciate my country because it has done for me. It has allowed for me to go out into the world and become the person that you are now seeing today. And again, my apologies with the lighting. I'm sure that as time goes on, we're going to get better lighting situations that really going to make it ideal. But I really like my backdrop. And I want to share with you my backdrop because I think it's really cool that I get the opportunity to do this. Oh, look at that. That's how it works. There we go. Got a little bit of lighting there. And I really want you to kind of look at where is it now? There's a young man out there that I want all of you to see. And he's on that wall. I'm going to bring this camera a little bit closer. Where's that YMCA building? There's a young man out there on the YMCA wall, and I want everybody to kind of look at that picture out there. You see that young man with the fist in the air? Yes, that young man right about, where is he? Right there. This is the YMCA right here in our local Yonkers town. And this is my inspiration all the time. I'm sure you can see my backdrop, or not my backdrop, it's actually my apartment. I live on the 18th floor of a so-called, well, I'm gonna call it a so-called luxury building. I think it's pretty sad that this luxury building has not done what it was supposed to do, which is make sure we, their client, has the luxury that they're claiming we're supposed to have. But it's not luxury. See, we get fooled, we get duped into believing certain things that are not true. So I'll talk about that a little bit later on, but it is now 6:06. You got me for the next hour, and I hope you do stay with me. If not, I'm perfectly okay with that. But I'm gonna do this every Tuesday and Thursday between the hours of 6 and 7. This is the pushback, and it's pushing back, as I stated, on all of those things that we not necessarily we don't agree with, but yet we're too afraid to talk about. We talk about it behind closed doors. We talk about it at the water coolers. We talk about it with our nearest and dearest, but we don't do what I'm doing right now, talking about it directly to YouTube. I'm going to be uploading this on my Facebook page. I'm going to be uploading this on my Instagram page. So if you do have those platforms, please go back and take a look at it on those as well. My name, again, is Tyrone Glover, and I'm the CEO of Leverage Credit Recovery. As you can see, this is not scripted. I will be reading from some of my Instagram, some of my Facebook, and going from site to site, looking away from the camera, coming back to the camera, because eventually, as I stated, we're going to share screens. We're going to do a lot of things. And as we build this audience to come and want to view us more and more and more, this is how we're going to start. We start off small, and we work our way into a bigger platform. MSNBC, CNBC, BET, all Oprah, O Channel, all of you new broadcasting opportunities that are out there. The pushback is looking for a bigger platform, and we would love for you to give us an opportunity to be able to put our show, our premiere out there into the world of larger audience. We're looking for whoever really is looking for a dynamic show that could bring a new audience to your viewership. So give the pushback a try, give the pushback, I don't like to say try, but give the pushback an opportunity, and I'm telling you, will definitely exceed your expectations. So as I stated, CEO Tyrone Glover, Leverage Credit Recovery. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram, Leverage Credit Recovery. Our primary business is credit. We focus on credit because credit is important. If you do not know how important credit is, you yourself probably have a credit score that is significantly below what you think you should have. If you're in the 750s, why aren't you in the 850s? If you're in the 650s, why aren't you in the 750s? There's always a way where you can improve your credit, and you are the only one who can do it. I can facilitate, give you your letters. I can facilitate and walk you through some of the unnecessaries of why we have to do what we need to do. I can help you. I can educate you. I can guide you through those areas. But you, the consumer, are the only one who really can increase your credit score. Please don't get duped. Please don't get bought into a lot of these gimmicks that are going on out there. One of the gimmicks, the new gimmicks, is Experian Boost. Experian Boost. So I just took a look at Experian Boost, and you get 2 points here, 4 points there. It's a gimmick. And the only reason why I call it a gimmick is because if your credit score is going to be rise any higher, then it should rise all the way across the board. There are 3 credit reporting agencies: Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. So if you're getting a boost from one, what's to say that that lender or that potential loan opportunity is going to use only that one? No, they're going to use the other remaining 2. And whichever one of those potentially is the lowest, that's probably the bank that they're going to attempt to go to get you that credit opportunity. So don't get bought into these gimmicks and these games. I hate to call out people, but Samuel L. Jackson, you want to know what's in my wallet? Capital One's hand is in my wallet. 2% is nothing. Nothing for a regular consumer. Now, if I was a business and I'm spending $30, $40, $50, $60, $70, $80,000 a month, then that is worth it. That's every bit of worth it, because I can take that and I can put that into maybe insurance for my workers. I can put that into maybe health care for my worker. I can do a lot if I'm a business and I'm spending that type of cash on a monthly basis. But if I'm a regular consumer, 2%, no, sorry, not worth it. It is worth it having the credit card. I'm not going to discount that, but it's not worth it if you're getting the credit card just for some gimmicks when it comes to points. It's not worth it. Now, Capital One, if you want to do something for me and give me something back, absolutely, give me 50% back. Give me 75% back. Then we can talk about whether or not that's a good deal. For right now, it's a good deal for Capital One. It's a good deal for Discover. Discover now, I believe they went to, what is it, Discover? I think you're the one who's giving matching dollar for dollar. Well, we'll see how long you're going to do that, because I'm almost certain that you're not going to keep that for going very long, because you're greedy. Yes, I'm calling you greedy, because this is not a show where we touch lightly, where we walk softly. No, we push back. And you don't understand that? Well, I'm telling you now, we push back. We push back on all of those falsities that you folks have out there. And we're going to continue to keep doing it. So please don't get bought into the gimmicks, cashback gimmicks, mile gimmicks, whatever it is, match for match gimmicks. Don't get caught up in that. If the credit itself is worth it, then you're going to benefit from it. And the only thing that you're going to benefit at this particular time is making sure that you are using credit. To build credit, you have to use credit. Let me say it again. To build credit, you have to use credit. Don't get that mistaken. Don't get it confused. All right, so credit is very important. Cash used to be king, but unfortunately now, credit is power. Remember that, okay? Cash used to be king, but credit is power. All right? And I'm going to talk about credit off and on as we do the pushback, because as I stated, primarily our business deals and focuses on credit. But I believe that now, because of the way that the world of Trump now, we have to push back. We have no other choice. It's going to take businesses like mine to really step up and push back on those things that we know are not doing what they should be doing for our citizens. Now, as I stated, I'm a veteran. I served 4 years and 9 months in the United States military, Army. I loved every minute of it. Every minute. I didn't know what I was getting into when I started, but I came around and I started to really enjoy it. What I came to find out, too, is that some of the people in the military don't like people who exude authority. Now, it wasn't that I exuded it on my own. No, I was given the position of supply clerk that turned into supply sergeant at E2. So that has nothing to do with the commander. It has nothing to do with the first sergeant. It has to do with the fact that they didn't have somebody to come in and do the job. So when I got the job, guess what I started getting? A whole bunch of blah, 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 blah from people who thought they could do my job. Well, you can't do my job. And you couldn't do my job. So that's why they had me come in to do that job. So I went to the 69th USFAD in Menden, Germany, and I killed it. I knocked it out the park. Boop, gone, see ya. Because I knew what I was doing. Command inspections. Boop, see ya, out the park. Detachment ready. Boop, see ya, out the park. I was always on point, because that's what you got to do. You got to be on point. You're supply. You got to make sure your people have what they need. We were a detachment that needed to be ready 24/7. and I was ready 24/7. So then that led into other things, other opportunities. I got out of the military at an early age, earlier than I expected to, because I thought I was going to be a lifer. But unfortunately, when you got all of this, all of this, all of this, all of this, just nothing but blah, blah, blah. It sounded like Charlie, what is it? What is that child's name? Charlie Brown. Wah, 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 wah. That's exactly what it sounded like, because we had individuals, E6s, E5s, E7s, who had no clue about what I was going to do, but always had some input in what they wanted. Sorry, doesn't work that way, folks. It's called a requisition. You have to ask for what you want. You can't just come in demanding what you want. That's not going to work that way. There are 3 positions in the United States military that you do not want to mess with. Cooks, you don't want nobody messing with your food. Finance, you don't want nobody messing with your money. And supplies, because you won't get nothing. Okay? It's just that simple, people. Treat dumb people with respect, because they will give you what you need. Always. So that's my military career, just in a nutshell. Loved every minute of it. But at this particular junction, this particular time, I will have to tell all of you, thinking about joining an armed forces at this particular time, don't do it. Don't do it. We got a Looney Tune, straight up Banana Republic right now running this country. And I could not recommend none of our youth or nobody at this particular moment thinking about going into the military. I'm sorry, just can't do it. I am a lover of all branches of military. Yes, I am. Air Force, Marines, Navy, Coast Guard, your local force. I am for it. I am for all of you going in. But at this particular moment, please don't do it. Please don't. No, it's just not worth it. Once this individual who is in the White House currently is gone, and we get better administration, we get people who focusing back on government, then absolutely. I would recommend it day in and day out. As a teacher, which that I am, I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher in this great city right here, Yonkers. Before I even continue, I want to give a shout out to my CYI. I love these guys because they're a local brand. And I am a Yonkers resident, and I am a born and raised individual here in Yonkers, and I will do everything that I can to support all of the local businesses. So CYI hats, love you guys. Everybody who's here in Yonkers, go out and support your locals and do what you can for your local businesses. That's how we thrive. That's how we grow. We grow off of our own citizens. We help at home first. So let's take care of home first. I want to also give another shout out to Juice for Life. Juice for Life is, again, doing their things and making sure that we're healthy, and making sure that we're fit, and making sure that we're consuming what we need to be consuming to keep the body looking and feeling and doing the things that it needs to be doing. Juice for Life, Neperhan Avenue. Get out and support your local businesses. Yes, Yonkers. Oh, my goodness. Yes, Yonkers, you are the artistry that you bring to Yonkers. Get out there and support your Yes Yonkers. Get out there and support your local businesses. So I want to definitely thank CYI, Juice for Life, Yes Yonkers. I'll be mentioning more and more as I go through. There are a lot of great businesses. Oh, can't forget my man, Antonio Kenyatta from Thruway Insurance. This young man, this individual clearly knows how to take you to that next level. I help you establish great credit. I help you start saving some money so that we can transfer you or transition you right over into Antonio and Thruway, so they can help you with now taking that extra and putting it into those mechanisms, those securities that are now going to protect you. Folks, if you're not thinking about your finances, you're not doing yourself due diligence. You're leaving too much on the table. You gotta start looking at being prepared. I know you hear those sirens out there. I'm very, 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 very close to the main street. And you can't quite see them, but they're right out here over my, well, not over my right, but I'm looking out. And I'm gonna move the camera a little bit so you can get a look out what I'm looking at. So you probably can't see them, but There's some fire trucks out there, and they're moving on down the road, but my apologies. I know the view is like a little bit distorted, but there were some fire trucks moving down the road, and now I'm back at you. But again, I like to share. I like to share my neighborhood. I like to share clearly everything that I believe is going to help you. The pushback is here for that. Pushback is here for you, the citizen. So please, I can't tell you, I can't thank you enough. We are going to continuously do what most people think that the government's not doing. The government isn't doing. The government has failed to do. And under this administration, I'm not blaming the government altogether. I'm blaming certain individuals within the government. I think we do have potentially a lot of people in the government who want to do the right thing, but due to the fact that they themselves are feared. Feared. What are they feared of? What are they fearing? Re-election? Really? You're not qualified enough to go out and get a new job, so you're gonna side with somebody who you know is doing the wrong thing because you're fearful of re-election? You're fearful of not getting re-elected? I thought you were qualified individuals. Clearly, you're not qualified individuals. You're clearly not qualified to lead. You're clearly not qualified to do anything that's helping us, the people, because if you were, you would stand up to this individual in the White House. You wouldn't allow for him to get to this point right now where they're doing whatever it is that they want. They're colluding. They're distorting. They're straight up lying. They're doing everything that we thought our government wasn't supposed to do. So again, the pushback is about talking about a lot of things, and I know we're going to kind of jump around a little bit, but eventually, as I stated, we're going to get to topics, specifics. We're going to be talking more and more about what you, the people, do not agree with, and you are to push back. So right now, it's just me giving you. But at some point, I'm hoping that we have a good exchange where you're giving me, you're asking me, you're questioning me, you're wondering whether or not I can do X, Y, and Z, you, the consumer. There's a lot of things that you can do. But the thing that's hindering you from being able to do that is you don't have the negotiation skills. And there's nothing wrong with not having skills. That's why we find people to help us build those skills. We find groups that help and support us in becoming more confident. We find groups, people, organizations that support our understandings and allow for us to be adventurous. Why do we have to be adventurous when it comes to going into the woods or going into the desert or mountain climbing? Why can't we be adventurous in society? Taking on those monstrosities of challenges like banking, like student loans. I just found something out that I'm very, very impressed about that I found out. So student loans, just talk about that for a quick second. I was just helping one of my clients, Krissa. So Krissa, you know I got nothing but LOVE for you. You are definitely going to be one of those that are really stepping it up, making things happen for you. And if I can get you in that luxury building, not if, when I get you into that luxury building in Jersey, or I think it was Jersey or Connecticut, girl, you're going to really then be really setting it off. So keep up the good work. But we just found out some great news. There is a way for you as a citizen too. If you're not on a deferment, get on a deferment. Get on a deferment. Get on a deferment. Do I have to say it again? Get on a deferment. Because it's going to benefit. It's going to help you. If you've got default after default after default after default after default, late payment, get on a deferment. There's an opportunity with, it's here, debt management and collections. Debt management and collections. This is part of the U.S. Department of Education. They know that you students or you individuals with student loans are struggling. So they've come up with a plan that's going to help you find a solution to being able to repair some of those items that are in your credit profile when it comes to your student loans. So find a way to contact me, Tyrone Glover, Leverage Credit Recovery. Find a way, whether go to my Instagram, go to my Facebook, find a way to contact me because I got some great information that's going to help you students out there with finding default opportunities, excuse me, not default, but deferment or forbearance opportunities that's going to help you. All right? Doesn't matter the status. Doesn't matter the status, whether you're in default or whether you're just about to get in default, or if you are doing well and you're just like, oh my God, these student loans are really taking its toll on my salary or on my wages. I have some great information, just found it out today. So get on a deferment, monthly payment options, 9 consecutive payments. Then they put you in something what's called a rehabilitation agreement. And from that point, it's a brand new outlook for you. Your credit reports doesn't get repaired, because I don't like using that word. It's not about repairing credit, because you can't repair credit. You can recover from credit issues, but you can't repair credit. There's no such thing. So please stop getting bought into that too. There's no such thing as credit repair, credit rehabilitation. No, you recover from an addictive understanding that we have as consumers. We like to consume. We like to take. Not necessarily take, I recant that word, I bring that back. But we like to have things. So we got to get away from that thought process of, can I have it? Of course you can have it. Yes, you can have it. Why not? But should we be going out there getting it at this high interest rate, or should we be focusing on getting it at a low interest rate? All right. So again, U.S. Department of Education has something called a deferment, and it is a great way for you to rehabilitate your credit profile, meaning just your student loans. Okay, it's not talking about all those other items, and I'll talk about those later on, not today, obviously, but I'll talk about those later on as we move through the various topics that we're going to talk about here at the Pushback. But my main theme right now is really just getting the people involved, engaged in what I like to call the pushback. Because, folks, when are we going to push back? When are we going to stand up to that we don't like? When? At which point? Does it need to be a tragedy in your household before we do it? Does it need to be that someone loses a job or loses a life or loses a limb? Why? Why does it have to take a tragedy for us to realize, oh my God, why haven't I done this? We need to start pushing back. So I'm encouraging all of you, youngsters, middle age, seniors, all of us, every single one of us needs to start pushing back. And we don't need to do it in a nasty manner. We don't need to do it in a hateful manner. We need to do it in a very understanding manner. And those who we are talking to on the phone, sorry, you're frontline. You don't get enough information to tell me no. Sorry, that's not what your duties are. That's not what your responsibilities are. You don't get to say no because you're not a decision maker. And until you are a decision maker, and once you are someone who understands why you must say yes to help not only us, but to help your business, then at that point would I like to continue a conversation with you. But when I call, I'm not wanting to talk to you, just like every other consumer. Don't waste your time talking to somebody who's not a decision maker. Thank you very much, but I would like to speak to your supervisor. And if the supervisor gets on there and they're doing the I's and the O's and the E's and the ooh and let me go check, guess what? They're not a decision maker either. So stop wasting your time with people who are not decision makers. Move past them. Just that simple. Be careful equally of these phone calls. Get a lot of, I like to call them gimmicks. We get a lot of, what are they called again? There's another word that the feds now are using. Not carbon copies, but I can't remember the wording right now, but there are phone numbers that are calling that have local phone prefixes that makes you think that this is a local call, when in all actuality they're not. They're not. Clones, that's what it is. They're cloning local phone numbers, not numbers, but the prefixes, attaching them to other numbers and making it look like it's a actual phone call from your local area. Because again, we're not stupid and they're not stupid. More people are prompt or more inclined to answer a local phone call than an 800 number, than something that says private or any other area code number. So again, be careful of when you're picking up your phone and you're seeing a local phone call, and it might be someone from another country or within, not even within your city, but definitely outside of your city. So, excuse me, definitely be careful. Be careful out there. There's a lot of things, gimmicks going on. So really, 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 really start to protect yourself. The pushback is only here to make sure you, the consumer, has what you need. So I can't and I won't stop. I'm going to keep doing this for as long as the man upstairs, and I'm talking about this man up here, because he's the only one that I answer to. That's the only boss that I have. G-O-D is my only boss. And I used to say it, and I'm going to continue to say it. G-O-D got me. So I don't need nothing else. I am not a overly religious person. I'm just a spiritual person. I believe in doing the right things. I believe in acting in the right manner. I believe in making sure that I'm presenting that picture or that image that is a role model to our students, to our citizens. I don't want to go out there into the world and be the negative statistic. I want to be the positive statistic. So get ready for the pushback. This is an hour-long program, and we're going to be looking forward to talking about a variety of different topics. Again, today is not just to specifically hone in on onesies and twosies. Today is all about meeting you, greeting you, letting you know that there are people out there like myself who want to help you, who go to great lengths to make sure that we're producing or putting out shows like this. Because we need you just as much as you need us. I want my business to grow, but I don't mind how long it takes to grow. There's 330 million people in this country. So trust me, the last thing that I'm looking for is to capture everybody. I don't need everybody. If I got 1% of the population, my business is going to be fine. It's going to be fine. How many of you know how many bottles Coca-Cola sold in its first year? I'll give you a second. Think about that for a minute. Yep, that's it. Some of you probably already thinking. Some of you probably already Googled it. But I can tell you, Coca-Cola sold in its first year 25 bottles. Google it. You don't believe me? Google it. I don't have to sit here. I don't have to make up nothing. Google it. And this is what the pushback is all about. It's about perseverance. It's about consistency. It's about staying the course. Because Coca-Cola could have gave up. We wouldn't have no Coca. Okay, so it's about that. It's about following the models of those who came before us. Keeping on track, keeping consistent with, we know we have something here, so we're going to keep at it. 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 We're going to keep finding ways to improve, not just our situation, but improve your situation. We're going to keep doing and keep moving and keep pushing back on all of those things that we know are not working. So all we need is you. All we need is you. Again, an hour might seem like a long time, but once we start getting those Q&As, once we start getting a lot more interaction, that boom, hour's gone. Boom, hour's gone. So I love what I do. I appreciate the opportunity of being able to do what I do, and I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep doing it. Another one of those things that I do find very, very interesting and being able to call out is courts And I'm going to talk about the courts here for a few minutes because the courts are something that really are disturbing right now. They're disturbing. And I'm not talking about criminal court. I'm talking about civil courts. I'm talking about those types of courts that deal with us, the civilian, on a regular basis. How we're being sued by scrupulous, deceptive. Oh my God! I wish I could think of more words that despicable, manipulative individuals like lenders, debt collection companies, law firms with deep pockets, robbing these citizens. And the courts are culpable in their activities. Now, a lot of you judges or you so-called individuals sitting on the bench, a lot of you are, again, elected, appointed, but you yourself equally can be dismissed. Don't think for a second that that robe means anything to people like me. I'm going to show you the utmost respect, but you're equally going to give that back to me. Because a lot of the things that we talk about, you don't even know. A lot of the things that we as citizens bring to the courts, you're dismissing because of one reason and one reason only. Because I'm not an attorney. And attorneys, I'm at the point now where I don't trust you guys. Don't trust you at all. I don't trust you because you're not arguing anymore. You're settling. You're settling on everything because you know that there's a payday for you. And if we remove the payday part, maybe you would probably start doing your job. Maybe you would start living up to your oath. And some of you aren't doing that. Because not only have I seen it for myself, I'm 53 years old. I've been on this planet long enough. Don't let the outfit, don't let the hat, don't let the glasses, don't let the little bit of facial hair fool you. But I'm an OG. Yes, that's right, OG. I've been around a little bit. So I can speak not from because I read somebody's book or not because I followed somebody's blog or not because I followed someone's newscast or podcast. No, I've been around. 28 years working for corporate America. 19 different employers. So I've done. And I'm still doing because that good man upstairs allows for me to continue to keep doing. So you lawyers, y'all really got to rethink what the heck y'all doing. Because a lot of you aren't doing it accordingly. And it's sad. And and the courts are allowing you to get away with this nonsense. Because of what? Quid pro quo? You probably heard that one before, right? Or conflict of interest. Probably heard that one before too, huh? Yeah, that's what's going on in the court systems currently right now. Quid pro quo and conflict of interest. Judges are allowing their colleagues who they sit down and rub elbows with, who they sit down and go to steak dinners and wine tastings with, they're allowing them to buddy up, chummy. That's not right. That's wrong. And then when we, the pro se's, that is the exact same thing. I'm entitled to represent myself. And if I come to the table and you don't have the facts as a judge and you're not asking your colleague as to whether or not they have their situations correct, how do you dismiss mine? So I'm taking back and I'm pushing back. I'm pushing back on you courts. I'm pushing back on you attorneys. Don't get mad. Don't get upset. Don't roll your eyes in the back of your head till you're almost about to knock yourself out. Get informed. Make sure you know more than the person who is asking you a question. Because if you don't be alarmed. I'm pushing back because I am sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm pushing back because I will not tolerate the intolerable any longer. I'm pushing back because you're bringing nothing to the table. So don't think I'm the bad guy, because I'm not the bad guy. I'm the nicest guy on the planet. My consumers love me. Businesses despise me because I'm telling all of your dirty little secrets. All of them. All of them. I used to work for some of the best companies out there, and I am appreciative of all of them. Every single one of the companies that I work for, I thank you immensely for the training, for the ability, for the understanding, for the opportunity that you gave me. I've learned so much from you. But I am sickened by the way you treat your employees. I am sickened by the way you treat your vendors. I am sickened by the way you treat your consumers. I'm sickened by the way you even treat your own selves sometimes. And I'm going to tell you something that I really should have shared a long time ago. The way Target, yes, Target, took advantage of a wonderful company called Mervyn's in California. Took advantage. And you put so many people on unemployment. For what reason? For what reason? Greed. 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 And it's sad. It's sad, and I see it on a daily basis. I've seen it on a yearly basis. I've seen it day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out. Really wasn't much I could do about it, but I did what I could until it got to the point where it was never performance for Mr. Glover. It was never performance. It was always about this. You didn't like what I was bringing to the table. You didn't like that I spoke up against your abuses. But that's what I do. I take care of the younger guy. I take care of the little guy. I take care of the female. I take care of the vendor. I take care of the consumer. I speak up when I see an injustice. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's doing my due diligence. Yes, do I sometimes get the bad or the short end of the straw for that? It's okay. Because I told you, G.O.D. got me. I don't need anybody to do what he already doing. And as long as I keep my faith, as long as I keep believing that he will provide for my every need, then there's nothing that I need to worry about. I can continue to go out there and do accordingly. And that's all I'm asking of you. And that's all the pushback will be doing for you, is pushing back on those things that you yourself should be pushing back on. We're 43 minutes into our program, and we got about another, obviously about, 17 minutes to go. And we're still going to keep this going, folks. The pushback's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. We're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep pushing. So I just said the courts, I'm not too happy with our court system right now. I'm not too happy with our attorneys right now. Not our, meaning mine, but just attorneys in general. You took an oath, but you do not live up to that oath. I took an oath too, and I told you in the beginning of this, I am a veteran. I took an oath. I said it yesterday, I'm going to continue to keep saying it. I took an oath to defend this country from foreign and domestic enemies. And clearly, currently, right now, we're dealing with a lot of domestic enemies. So it's time we wake up, people. It's time we start pushing back. Let's see, what else here can I throw in a couple of more minutes before we get ready to go? Let's talk about wages. What's going on in this country with our wages? Oh, we don't have qualified people, so we can't pay you enough. We got more than enough qualified people. The problem with wages, and I'm going again, don't think it's jokes. Go back and do your history. Wages. What's wrong with wages? Well, think about the federal government. The federal minimum wage currently is $7.25 federally. $7.25. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the federal minimum wage, my apologies, federal minimum wage started in, let's see here, federal minimum wage started, $7.25. The federal minimum wage came into existence in my apologies, I'm looking for it. And is that it? I think it was 19. Apologies, bear with me here, because I like to make sure that what I'm giving out to the public is 100%. I don't believe in shortchanging our consumers in any regards. I want to make sure that you always have top-notch information, making sure that it's always done correctly. And I believe, where are you, federal minimum wage? Come on now, I know you started at some point. History of federal minimum wage, come on you. It wasn't 1920. Oh my goodness, this is so crazy. I know. And the funniest thing is when you're looking for it, you never can find it. But when you aren't looking for it, it's smiling you right in the face. Just grinning at you. There we go. So, you know who actually put the federal minimum wage into existence? That was President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Signed America's first federal minimum wage into law in 1938. It was 25 cents. So think about that for a second. 1938. It was 25 cents. It is now 2019, and the federal minimum wage is $7.25. So do the math there for a second, folks. You got 38, 48, 58, 68, 78, 88, 98, 2008, 2018. You're looking at 80 years. 80 years. You're looking at every decade. The minimum wage has gone up less than $1 every decade. So we can't fault businesses. We can't hold UPS or ShopRite or Nike or Adidas or anyone else accountable for not raising the minimum wage. If they give you $8, they're doing their due diligence of making sure that you have more. It's up to the federal government to step up. Why wait? What are you waiting for? You've already waited long enough. What are you waiting for? You think bringing $15 to the table is going to be a hoo-hoo? Huh? Is that the hallelujah moment? Come to Jesus moment because now you think you're doing something for citizens? If you look at the cost of living is way exceeding that what you're now bringing to the table. So come on, people, come on. Really? Federal government, you have a duty to the citizens, and you're failing them. So Nike, Adidas, Foot Locker, what else? Pet Boys, Petco, you name it. Whatever institution out there, thank you so much for stepping up and paying your workers a better wage than the federal government. Thank you. If you can get to $15, we would be greatly appreciative. But the federal government, you're going to have to do your part. You're going to have to be the standard bearer. So $7.25, not cutting it. Not cutting it. You need to go immediately to $15. And then every year, you need to increase it at least by $1. Oh, but we can't do that. Oh, we can't do that. Oh, of course you can do that. You just got to want to do it. Businesses that I've already mentioned, and those businesses that I haven't mentioned that I will be mentioning at some point. Oh, we can't do that. It's going to hurt our bottom line. Oh, stop. Not going to hurt your bottom line. Cut back on giving your failing CEOs such a grandiose exiting package for failure. Stop giving all this money to politicians for failure. How about doing your citizens a better understanding by raising their standard of living? Your standard of living has already been risen to almost unimaginable. So you got to do a better job. Federal government, you got to do a better job. 1938, Franklin D. Roosevelt put into law federal minimum wage, which is 25 cents. It is now 2019, about to be 2020, and the federal minimum wage is $7.25. So if I was a business, as long as I gave $7.26, guess what? I'm higher than the federal minimum wage. So do your job, feds. Do your job, Congress. Do your job, Senate. Don't think of me as the angry black guy, because that's not what I am. And excuse me for calling myself the angry black guy. Not that. I keep telling you, I'm a peaceful guy. I'm a loving guy. I'm a God-fearing guy. Because I know as long as I'm doing according to his will, nothing to worry about. Nothing. It is now 51 minutes and 43 seconds. I'm going to keep giving you a little bit of a countdown because I like to keep my things precise. But I got to thank you. I got to thank you, thank you, thank you. Just having the understanding, just having the ability, just having the will, just having the skill to be able to talk to you like this for this length of time is amazing. It's amazing. You're looking at an introvert. You're looking at somebody who was a foster child. You're looking at somebody who didn't have all of this ability, these skill sets. Not at all. I sat in the back of the classroom, never wanted to participate. I'm in the front of the classroom. Yes, I'm what you called your Rosa Parks. Yes, used to always be in the back of the bus. Guess where I am now? Front of the bus, right before the yellow line. That's right. I don't believe right in the back any longer because I got too much to say. And I'm going to constantly keep saying it. We, individuals of color, we, black men, we, citizens of this country, we need to start pushing back. Or guess what? There will be nothing there. There will be nothing there. There will be rich and there will be poor. This middle class that we all are striving so much to get into, it won't be there. The opportunities that the middle class, that the poor, the middle class, the levels that were supposed to be there, they won't be there anymore. Those stairs are slowly being ripped apart. You gotta want it more than I want it for you. Because if you don't, I'm gonna do for what I need to do for mine, but I wouldn't mind doing it for the rest of you. I'm gonna make sure mine are okay, and it's gonna start right here in Yonkers. This is my home. This is my city. This is where I was born. Right up the street from where I am right now is where I was born. I traveled the world. I got to do a lot of things. And I'm very grateful for my ex-in-laws. I'm very grateful for the relationships that I've had. I'm very grateful for all of the opportunities that have been given to me. And this is why I can speak to you now so confidently. This is why I can do what I do when I go out and talk to my students. This is why I can do what I do when I hold my seminars. This is why I can do what I do when I hold my events, because I'm talking from experience. And I will continue to keep doing what I do. So minimum wage, feds, it's on you. It's on you to make the situations better for us, the citizens. Consumer Protection Acts, the CFPB. Love that place. CFPB, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Now, folks, I'm telling you, you got a concern, you got an issue, then that's who you need to go see right there. Do your complaints, find out what's going on with some of these companies that you're dealing with. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, brought to us by Elizabeth Warren, that almost was dismantled by, what was his name? Nick Malvoni, I think that's his name, Malvoni or Vaney or whatever the heck his name is. But now he works with President, oh, Lord, did I just say that word in front of Trump? Oh, my goodness. I think I got a puke. I'm sorry. Trump, he works for Trump, and I think it is Nick Malvani, a laughable individual who attempted to dismantle the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, just like Trump and all of his minions are attempting to dismantle every government agency that's currently out there. If we don't do something, folks, they're going to take it all away. They're going to take it all away. They're going to take it all away. So please do your due diligence. CFPB is a great resource. It's a great, 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 great resource. It has helped me grow my business. It has helped me with doing the things that I need to do to make sure that I'm up on all of those consumer protection acts that are out there protecting us. And a lot of these courts, again, I'm going back to the courts and these law firms, they're using those very same consumer protection acts that they know nothing about. They're using them against you right now. So I got to tell you, people, I got to tell you, the pushback is here. It's here for you. And it's going to continuously be here for you. As long as you want, as long as you need, then the pushback is going to be here. Not as long as you want, because we're going to be here regardless whether you want it or not. But as long as you are in need, as long as you are in need and you don't know where to turn to the pushback. Because we'll help you. I guarantee you, I'll help you. I'll make sure you have the knowledge, the skill sets, the understanding to do whatever it is that you want to do. But I can tell you right now, I'm going to hold you accountable. Just like I'm hoping you hold me accountable. Because I'm going to do my part. If you become a client of mine, I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do for you. But I'm going to hold you equally accountable. Because your success doesn't come through me. Your success comes through you. And if you stay the course, I guarantee you the reward will be greater. And my reward doesn't come from you. My reward, again, comes from that man up there. I always point to the sky because that's where he resides. My reward doesn't come from an individual. I get an accolade from you. I get a pat on the back from you. I get an attaboy from you. But my reward comes from that man. And as long as I'm doing in accordance, I ain't got nothing to worry about. Nothing. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking the time. Those of you who did, excellent. Those of you who are still kind of getting familiar with what it is that I do, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me the time. YouTube, thank you. Can't thank you enough for building or putting out a platform like this. Instagram, thank you. Even though I'm not 100% in agreement with a lot of the things that you do by blocking people's account or not putting up their posts, thank you anyway. Facebook, I'm conflicted with the Zuckerbergs. Really, I thought your platform was about interaction and serving the public in the manner, but you've gotten so big that you have. I don't think you get it any longer. The greed, again, I go back to that one word again, greed. Greed. I'm not greedy. I'm all about sharing. But trust me, I'm coming to the table, I'm coming to the table correct. But when I come to the table, and if there's nobody there, trust me, I do not mind eating alone. All right? The pushback is here for you people. It's here for citizens of Yonkers, right there, city of Yonkers. I love this. I love my CYI guys. Love these guys. But it's here for you. It's here for you, Yonkers. It's here for you first and foremost, Yonkers. But it's always going to be about the citizens. always. So thank you, everybody, for taking the time. My name is Tyrone Glover. I'm the CEO of Leverage Credit Recovery. I appreciate you immensely. Thank you, everybody who tuned in. And please make sure you're tuning in next Tuesday at 6 o'clock to 7. Love you, Yonkers. Peace, America.